Hi first graders. Today we are going to be looking at lesson 2-10. They're going to ask us to look for and use structure when we're solving. So structure is another way of thinking about patterns. So we're going to be looking at that today. We're going to find that on page 133. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like now. Here we go. All right, we are on lesson 2-10. Again, that's page 133. And on this page, I can see Marta, and she has a parts to whole chart here. So we're going to go ahead and read what she's sharing in the bubble. It says, use counters and the part whole mat to show different ways to make a 10. Write the different ways in the table. Okay, so here's our chart here. And it's asking us to use counters. You don't have to take yours out right now because we can look at this together. I know my whole is 10, so I'm going to go ahead and take out 10 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take out those 10. And I can see here, this is the table that I'm going to be using to fill out as I go. All right, so let's go ahead and start with a double that we know. I know lots of you have it in your long-term memory already, that 5 and, whoops, I didn't take out quite enough, and 5, oh, no, I did. 5 and 5 gives us 10. Okay, so if I take 5 and I count on, it'll sound like this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I know that's a double that makes 10. I'm going to go ahead and add that here in my chart. I have 10 equals 5 plus 5. Okay, all right, but what if I take 1 away from part 1 and I add it into part 2? Do I still have 10? Okay, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I sure do. I have the same amount. I just moved 1 from part A to part B. So if I look at this parts to whole, I now have 4 for part 1 and 6 for part 2. Okay, so, and that again equals 10. All right, well, what if I move another one? I take 1 from part 1 and I move it over to part 2. Do I still have 10? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I sure do. This time I have 3 as my first add-in plus 7 as my second add-in. All right, so at this point, I want to take a closer look at the equations that we've made. I have 5 plus 5 for my first one, 4 plus 6 for my next one, and 3 plus 7 for my next one. Do you notice any patterns here in the add-ins that we've written so far? Well, one thing that I'm noticing is that my first add-in is getting smaller, or it's decreasing by 1 each time. So I have 5, 4, 3. Are you noticing that? If I were to follow that pattern, what would my next add-in be? 5, 4, 3. It would be 2. That's right. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and lightly write that in. I'm not going to make it dark yet. And then look at the other side. I have 5, 6, 7. So on my other side, or my second add-in, I'm getting bigger each time by 1. Another way of saying that is I'm increasing by 1 each time. 5, 6, 7. If that pattern continued, what would my next number be? 5, 6, 7. Yeah, my next number would be 8. Okay, I'm just going to lightly write that in. And let's see with my parts to whole chart and my counters if that's what actually ends up happening. So I have 3 right now, 7 on this side. I'm going to take 1 away from here, and I am going to move it over to my second part. So now I have 2 in part 1 and 8 in part 2. Let's count on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I still get a sum of 10, so 10 is my whole. And those numbers do match what we predicted they would be based on the pattern. 2 for my first add-in and 8 for my second add-in. Okay? All right. So we are going to be looking at more patterns and structure as we go through this lesson. If you need more time on this part, you can go ahead and pause the video now. I'm going to go ahead and collect these counters and put them in my baggie. And we'll go ahead and look at the next page together. All right, so here I am on the next page. Marta is here at the top, and the first green box says, the bears and lions want to cross the sea. Only 10 animals can fit on the boat. Show all the ways they can go on the boat. Okay, so my important information is that I have 2 sets of animals. I have bears and lions, and they all want to go across in this story. They all want to go across the sea, but I know that only 10 animals can fit. Okay, so Marta's going to help us think through this problem. She says, how can I use structure to help me solve this problem? All right, well, here are her 2 categories, bears and lions. And she begins by saying, what if 0 bears get on the boat? Then how many spaces are there for the lions? There's 10, right? Because only 10 animals can get on at one time. That's going to be my whole. All right, well, what if 1 bear gets on? Then how many spaces are left for lions? Then there'll be 9 spaces left for lions, right? We can already see a pattern starting to emerge. Each time I increase my bears by 1, my spaces for lions decrease by 1. So if I had space for 2 bears, if I put 2 bears in the boat, then how many spaces would I have for lions? I would have space for 8 lions, right? So now I have 0, 1, 2. You can see I'm increasing by 1 on this side, 10, 9, 8. I'm decreasing by 1 on that side. So on this side, I'm increasing or getting bigger by 1. And on this side, I'm decreasing or getting smaller by 1. Okay? All right, let's look at the last box. Marta has now filled in the entire chart. There is a pattern in the table. The parts in each row add up to 10. As the number of bears increases, it gets bigger, right? The number of lions decreases or gets smaller. And she says, the table shows all the ways the bears and lions can go on the boat. Okay, we know that all together, 10 animals can fit on that boat. That's the whole. And each time the bears gets bigger by 1, the number of lions that can go gets smaller by 1. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and use some more structure to complete the next table that we have here. This time we're looking at dogs and cats. We're on the guided practice, and the directions say use a pattern to help you solve the problem. So we're going to be using a pattern. Okay, so number 1, I'm going to read it. Patty has 4 dog stickers and 4 cat stickers. She wants to put 6 stickers on a page of her book. Use structure to show 3 different ways Patty can put stickers on the page. Okay, so she wants to put 6 stickers in her book. So I know that 6 is going to be the whole. That's how many she can put on a page altogether. Okay, she has 4 dog stickers and she has 4 cat stickers. So they begin with 4 for the dog stickers. So if she puts all 4 of her dog stickers in the book, how many spaces will she have left for cat stickers? Well, we can start with 4, 5, 6. Remember, she only has room for 6. So she can fit 2 cat stickers on that page. All right, what if instead of 4 dog stickers, she puts 3 dog stickers on that page? Now, how many spaces does she have left for her cat stickers? Let's see, we'll put 3 in our head and we'll count on till we get to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. She has space for 3 cat stickers now. Well, what if she decides instead of 3 dog stickers, she puts 2 dog stickers on her book? Now, how many spaces will she have for cat stickers? Let's put 2 in our head and count on till we get to 6. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. She has space for 4 cat stickers. Okay. Now that we've filled in the chart, let's go back and see if we see that same pattern emerging here. I have my dog stickers. I started with 4, then I moved down to 3, and I moved down to 2. 4, 3, 2. I see each time my number of dog stickers is decreasing by 1. As my number of dog stickers decrease by 1, look at what happens to my cat stickers. 2, 3, 4. Hey, those are getting bigger by 1. Another way of saying that is increasing each time by 1. Okay, so again, that same pattern emerges as one side gets smaller, or as one side gets smaller, the other side gets bigger, or vice versa. Okay, we have the opposite happening on this first example. All right, so let's go ahead and look over at our independent practice. It's asking us to use a pattern to help you solve each problem. So we're going to be using a pattern. All right, number 2 and number 3 have the same directions, and we're going to be following the patterns and structure just like we did in number 1, and just like Marta helped us do in the example. Let's go ahead and do number 2 together. Max has 5 markers. He can put the markers in his desk or in his bag. Complete the table to show all the ways Max can put the markers away. All right, so we know that Mark has 5 markers, and we're going to look at all the different ways he can divide them between his desk and his bag. To help me, I'm just going to put a 5 up here, just so I can remember how many he has altogether. So if he has 5 markers and he puts 0 in his desk, how many would he be able to put in his bag? Remember, he has 5 altogether. That's right, he could put 5 in his bag. Okay. What happens if he puts 1? Remember, we're increasing or decreasing by 1 each time. So he started with 0. Now he's going to put 1 in his desk. How many will that leave for his bag? If I put 1 in my head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves him with 4 to put in his bag. All right, I'm going to keep going. On this side, each time I'm getting bigger, or I'm increasing by 1. So I have 0, 1, now I'm at 2. If he puts 2 in his desk, How many can he have in his bag? 2, 3, 4, 5. He can have 3 in his bag, and that's what they show us here. All right, I'm going to keep following that pattern. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now he has 3 in his desk. How many can he put in his bag? Okay, if you said 2, you are correct. Let's check it. 3, 4, 5. See that? He has 2 that he can put in his bag. All right. I'm also noticing that that pattern is once again emerging as I get bigger here. 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm getting smaller on my other side. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, now I'm at 1. If I just followed the pattern, what number would I get here for my next number that I can put in my desk? 0, 1, 2, 3. If I followed that pattern, it would be 4, right? Let's check it. If I have 4 and I add 1 more, I get 5, right? So that works. And then finally, what if he put 5 in the desk? How many would he have left to put in his bag? 0, right? Because he only has 5 altogether. All right, so that was another example of how to use structure. You're going to work on number 3 on your own, okay? And then let's go ahead and take a quick look at number 4. Jackson says, use a pattern to help you solve the problem. Okay, so again, we're going to use a pattern. Here's the story. Julie is planting 10 flowers. She can plant them by a tree or in a box. Use structure to help you find 3 different ways Julie can plant the flowers. Okay, so we know she has 10 altogether. So I'm going to put 10 up here. That's how many she has altogether. She can plant some of those by a tree, and she can plant some of them in a box. All right, so let's go ahead and start with, let's say she starts with planting 0 by the tree. So if she starts with 0 by the tree, how many can she put in a box? Well, she'll put, sorry, boys and girls, I just realized. Sorry. Once again, writing upside down sometimes throws me off. Did you guys catch that? I bet you did. Okay, here's my 10. I apologize. Okay, so she had 0 by the tree. That leaves her with 10 that she can put in a box, right? She's dividing those flowers up. Okay, so that's one possibility. What if instead she puts 1 of those flowers by the tree? Then how many can she put in the box? That's right, she'll have 9 left over. So she'll have 9 in the box. Okay, let's go ahead and say she puts 2 by the tree. See how we've maintained our structure? We have 0, 1, and 2. She has 2 by the tree. How many flowers does she have left to put in the box? So we can put 2 in our head and count on till we get to 10. Or we can also use the structure. I see I have 10, 9. I need to get smaller by 1. That would be 8, right? Let's go ahead and make sure that that is correct. We're going to put 2 in our head. We're going to count on 8 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, it sure does work out. Okay? All right. So for today, we did a lot together. This is a new concept, so I wanted to make sure we had a chance to do lots of examples together. The only one that you'll be doing on your own is number 3. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and bring it to our Google Meets. And then I do want to point out that if you would like more practice with this, because you only have one to do on your own, if you want some more practice, you can go to the homework practice section. It's the same lesson, 2-10. It's just the next page over. and you can do numbers 1 and 2 to give yourself more practice with this concept since it's new. Okay? All right, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and bring them to our Google Meets. Other than that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you real soon. Okay? Bye.